Well, let's speak to international economist Vicky Pryce. Vicky, thanks very much for joining us. Good to speak to you. Is this all about sanctions? Easy to say, but perhaps there are other factors.
I think up to a point it is sanctions because imports are becoming more expensive anyway. So there's been a steady increase in the rate of inflation, which has worried Russia for some time, the central bank in particular. And if you look at what was going on just a month ago, the inflation rates were beginning to go up in a worrying way, and everyone was expecting that there would be an increase in interest rates later this month. But this was an emergency one. There was a decision to increase rates earlier than the expected date when the decisions would have been made, which does suggest that they are worried about what's been going on. You mentioned sanctions, but in addition, there are all sorts of other things that have been going on. Of course, a lot of military expenditure has had to take place. There are staff shortages for loads of people, so for loads of sectors. And what's going on, of course, right now is that with the ruble decline that we have seen, that which needed to be reversed, one of the reasons why interest rates have just gone up, inflation was also being boosted. And in order to keep things going and the economy going, which has done slightly better than has been anticipated, there has been an awful lot of lending that has taken place. So all that has led to slightly higher inflation, and the result has been, of course, that the bank has reacted to stem particularly the fall of the ruble, but also to give a signal that the inflation target of 4% being now exceeded, or looks like it may be exceeded for a while, they had to react.
And is that likely to have any effect? I mean, oil still looks like earning money, and defence spending isn't likely to slow down, so options presumably are limited. Presumably really tough fiscal measures would also backfire.
Well, they might do. It is interesting that at the same time that we've seen this increase in interest rates, we've also had an announcement that an extra export duty was going to be put on all oil, which is exported as of September. And that's a pretty big increase. From what I understand, it's about $21 per ton extra, which is going to improve, obviously, how many revenues are collected by the state. So there is an obvious attempt to improve the budget situation. But I think one of the things that has been happening is that on the current account, imports have been quite expensive and making life more difficult. And yes, indeed, oil exports have been earning a lot of money for Russia. In fact, in July, they were at an 8-month high, I think about 15.3 billion. That, of course, means that, yes, there are loads of revenues coming in, but imports have also gone up in price, and the current account deficit is one that is causing right now the ruble to fall anyway.
It appears to be affecting the politics as well. I mean, I gather some of the Kremlin hardliners are starting to publicly criticise the governor of the Russian state bank, who's been in office for almost a decade, I believe.
Well, yes, but everyone else, looking at what the central bank has done, would suggest that they've actually, managed to keep inflation under control until now. And they do, of course, have a target which is 4% instead of the 2% that all of the rest of us have. And that has been, very close to being breached at various times. But yes, indeed, there was a concern that perhaps they had been too lenient, too dovish, if you like, not raising rates sufficiently to stop particularly the fall of the ruble. And what we've seen is the central bank then reacted very quickly and raised interest rates in this emergency fashion.
Vicky Pryce, thanks very much indeed. Always a pleasure. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.